Oh, hey, I didn't notice you there. I was too busy trying to figure out how I'm going to get into this backlog because there were so many games to play this year. And why did I put an emphasis on that? Because so many people are saying that this was a dry year in gaming. And the gaming opinions recently have just been kind of flabbergasting to me. While I know that some companies have been doing things that have, not been the best for the community, say Mario Strikers drip feeding us content, and that game was there before it game, or Game Pass not really living up to the promise that they made so far, while also dropping dope indies, don't get me wrong, but first party titles were very lacking, or people thinking that PlayStation is taking advantage of folks' wallets with these remakes and these $70 games. Mind you, PlayStation did not start that trend. You can thank 2K for that, or Nintendo not having enough legacy titles coming out with games. Whether you believe any of that or not, there were a lot of games to play this year. And I have a couple that were very fun for me that I could suggest to you. And there were so many games that I played this year that I probably had to make another list for this game, because there were so many games in each month that I enjoyed. But I'll give you a couple from each month so far in 2022. So maybe that you can go and check it out. First and foremost, like and subscribe. I am almost to 400 subscribers. We're trying to get to 500. We're trying to get to 1,000. And it really does help if you watch the video, like it, and subscribe. And if you got any suggestions, let me know. And if you got any subjects you want to hear about when it comes to gaming, let me know. So let's get right into it. When it comes to January, there were a lot of indie games that caught my eye. Things like Nobody Saves the World, or Spelunky 2, or The Artful Escape. But the game that caught my attention the most in January is probably the same game that caught your attention, especially if you're a Nintendo fan. Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus, whatever you say, I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna argue with you, say it how you wanna say it, but what Pokemon Legends Arceus did was redo the formula of what we are used to in a Pokemon game. In a fully 3D world, was sort of like a Monster Hunter-like hub world. It was pretty cool to actually focus on catching Pokemon in a time where Pokemon and humans did not necessarily get along and people were afraid of Pokemon. So it was your job to go out, survey the lands, catch Pokemon, especially these legendary or prehistoric Pokemon that don't exist anymore. It was cool seeing the different ways that people interacted with Pokemon, but also seeing how they discovered Pokemon and seeing other forms of Pokemon that don't maybe exist in today's Pokemon world. So yes, Legend Arceus was my game in January. It was very, very fun. February, we had a lot that I enjoyed, and I'll start off with one of my favorite indie games of the year, Ollie World. If you like skateboarding, if you like indie games, if you like good music, if you like customization, if you like diversity, Ollie World has all of that. And I've done a review on my channel for this game, but the vibes in this game are immaculate. I love playing this game when I want to chill. And I love playing this game just period. It's challenging, it's fun, the music keeps you in tune, and overall, just a great game. Sifu also came out, and that was a very well-received indie game of like a Kung Fu master. I ain't gotta explain what Sifu is because I know you played it. But that was also a game that I enjoyed in the month of February. Another game that I enjoyed, that was an indie game, KardBoard Kinfs. I also did a review on this one. KardBoard Kinfs puts you in the place of a kid who takes over his dad's card shop. And instead of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And things like that, you're actually selling the cards. And no, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh!, but it's like a fictional game, sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh!, but you are actually selling the cards at the best price, noticing trends in the community, knowing what cards are banned. It had a very dope story and a very dope soundtrack. I know y'all want me to say Elden Ring was one of those games. Yes, I did enjoy it. I do believe that it's an overhyped game. Was it overrated? No, it was good. But games like Horizon Zero Dawn suffered because of the hype that Elden Ring brought it. And there was a lot of negativity to go with Horizon in comparison. And I didn't feel that was fair. But Horizon Forbidden West is still one of those games that you should check out because it is just as good as its predecessor. March got me a couple games that I really did enjoy. Triangle Strategy. If you like JRPGs and great stories and tactical gameplay, Triangle Strategy was a Nintendo game that did its job. Plenty of hours in the game that you can enjoy. Great story, great characters, great music, and a great battle system. Definitely should check it out. The Rune Factory series doesn't get enough love, but Rune Factory 5 I did quite enjoy because who doesn't like having a waifu? Who doesn't like having a bae or a husband, And who doesn't like farming and fighting monsters and all this other stuff that's not supposed to go together? Rune Factory is another one of those games made by the folks in the minds that made Harvest Moon. And again, Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, Rune Factory, all the games that inspired Stardew. So if you like games like that, this is definitely for you. Kirby made his return with Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and it was a hit. It was a great game. It was Kirby's best-selling game. His first really full foray into 3D gaming and platforming, and it was enjoyable. And I believe everyone that got to play this enjoyed that game, and you should definitely check it out. April for me was another JRPG month. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, was a remake of one of the classic PS1 titles that we all know and love. And I really think that this is a game that everyone should check out at least once, with so many different characters to get to know, and you might miss one, so you got to play it again. Road 96 was also a dope indie game. It was like a roguelike Life is Strange type of game, because your character can not make it through the end of the story, but that character influences what happens in the rest of those stories, trying to get away to another territory, getting away from a land that you didn't believe in their principles. You have a totalitarian state leader that you're trying to get away from, but also there's somebody running against him. There's a lot of politics in this game, but it's very cool and very different. And it's one of those games where you make relationships, and those relationships affect the story. Trek to Yomi was a game that I enjoyed in May. If you like those samurai games, those Ghost of Tsushima feels, this one was dope. It was different. It was kind of difficult, but a very cool game and a very quick one if you got something that you want to play real quick to get into the bigger games that are coming later in the year. While most people didn't like this game because they felt that it was unfinished, Mario Strikers Battle League was a game that I enjoyed in June. I enjoyed the pro clubs, I enjoyed playing online with the homies, and I enjoyed just playing a little soccer that reminded me of the older Mario Striker series. While it doesn't compare, I definitely understand folks' qualms about the game. It still was a game that you can enjoy. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made its return with Shredder's Revenge, a game that I enjoyed with the homies. Definitely a colorful game, a very great art style. The gameplay was fun. The characters and the way they fight were different from each other, and made it enjoyable to go back and play the game with another Turtle or April or Casey Jones, whoever you pick. Very fun game and a great beat 'em up. I like seeing these returns of beat 'em ups. July was another heavy month for me. Between Digimon Survive and its visual novel elements with the tactical game spread in there, it was a great game. Getting to see the Digijets in another light and your decisions affecting the story again. Live A Live was one of the best RPGs I've ever played, period. And for this to be a remake that never came to America and we finally got it in July, I think everyone should get them a Switch, or I think it's coming to PC soon, but this is one of Nintendo's best games of the year, and it was very, very fun. I can't forget about Stray, and I can't forget about that Q Cat. It was a great time exploring a post-apocalyptic world with a bunch of robots with a kitty cat, and the environment and the atmosphere of the game just puts you in a different place. And my game of the year, honestly, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which also came out in July. Has one of the best fighting systems in a JRPG, has some of the best characters, the best customization, so many different elements that make it a great game to pick up. And if you keep playing through, there's always something new or something adding to the story that makes you go, wow. I believe Xenoblade Chronicles 3 isn't gonna get enough love that it deserves, but it is definitely one of the top games that came out in 2022. August was another heavy month with the indie games. Cult of the Lamb was the big indie hit of the year. And if you haven't gotten that game yet, I don't know what you're doing. A game, and I don't gotta explain it. Look at the video. You manage a cult. It has some farming elements, some roguelike elements, and some relationship element type game. I also was enjoying Multiverses. While Smash is not making any new characters, Multiverses has taken a step to introduce us to the WB world and give us a very fun and not clunky Nicktoons like game. Yes, I threw shit at Nicktoons because we all wasting money on that game, but I'm gonna do nothing with it. But Multiverses is doing a lot. The gameplay is fun, and it was one of the best games in August in my opinion. Even though it came out before that, it officially released in August. We Are OFK was one of my favorite games of August because it was a game about a group learning who they are, making music and doing dope things. So I say it was an interactive game where you were in stories of each member of the group as they traverse growing up, finding their place in the music world and finding their place in the world, period. It was a coming of age story with a very diverse cast and a bunch of dope stories. Also, Saints Row, I'm playing. And another indie game that I enjoyed in August was TinyKin. It had Paper Mario / Pikmin vibes, and I really think everyone should try this game out. The story, the gameplay, all of it was good. The graphics are great. And if you miss those type of games, if you want a charming indie game for a great price, TinyKin is the one for you. September brought us Splatoon. That's all I really got to talk about. Splatoon 3, which is the game that's been taking over a lot of our lives. And if you look at my shorts, most of my YouTube shorts are Splatoon 3 highlights. I love the game, it's fun. While I do hate the damn connection issues that we have thanks to Nintendo Online. But the other game that I really enjoyed was Potion Permit. Potion Permit was a game where you take care of citizens who were sick, but also it was like a live your life game, Stardew Valley type of thing again. But this time you're going out collecting materials to make potions in your cauldron. So it was a very dope change of pace, and I think it was a game that everyone should try out. The DioField Chronicle, Square Enix brought back tactical role-playing games, and this is a real-time strategy game. So if you haven't played DioField Chronicle, again, this was a game. And again, I won't go too much into these games because I just did a video about the games you should get in September, so check that out. But those are my games that you should have already checked out this year. I'm kind of getting tired of the retort that there's nothing to play. I understand that every game isn't for everyone, but to say that there's nothing to play is just malarkey. And if you need more suggestions, if you can tell me what type of games you like in the comments, I can help you out. Just let me know. But I just want us to enjoy the games that we enjoy, because there are a lot of games for us this year. Sometimes you just gotta open your mind and open your wallet a little bit and maybe try something new. That's all for me. Again, if you want me to cover more things like this, I think in the future, I think the next video, I'm gonna talk about my favorite times in gaming and go over my favorite games from other consoles. So if you're ready for that, let me know. Again, I thank y'all for watching, and we out.